Hello, let's do this isometric projection worksheet together. So the way this sheet works is that we are given partial views. So we have the top view and the side view in this one, top and front. And we are supposed to create the third view with the given information. I'm also adding in that we're going to construct an isometric view of that object. So we'll need to take some dimensions to create that ISO view. Once you're done with the ISO, we're going to scale it down so that it's about 50%, we're going to scale it down to 50% of the way that we drew it, and then put it into our orthographic projection so that it fits in this nice little happy spot right there. Make sure to put all of your construction lines and working lines on the correct layer, and let's get started. Okay. Let's do this first one together. That looks like fun. And I'll start by putting in horizontal lines off of my side view and vertical lines off of my, oops, I forgot to start the V part. XL space V off of my top view. And then fill in where all of that goes together. Let's switch over to my working layer. I shouldn't need any hidden lines for this. And this larger section only goes to here, but it's there. Did I? No, it didn't switch over. Boo, hiss. And then this side section here and there goes there. All right, so our ortho is done. Let's work on the ISO. So to pull dimensions, I'm going to use the distance command, or just DI. I really like using DI because it gives me multiple dimensions at once. Not a big deal for this application, but it's really useful, especially when you're working in 3D land. So spacebar to accept. And I want to start by drawing this rectangle, or this front face in isometric projection. So I'm going to use my distance command to get the X and the Y coordinates. And you can see here where it says delta X is equal to 1 inch, delta Y is equal to 3/4. So that means that the distance here is 1 inch. This is 1 inch. This is 3/4. Okay. So with isometric projection, oh, it's already turned on, but you can turn on isoplane left, or isoplane top, or isoplane right. I'm just going to use left. And that changes the cursor. So if you see my cursor, I have a 30 degree, my vertical and my horizontal is offset by 30 degrees because that's the way that you draw isometric. So I will start with the polyline, and I'm going to draw 3/4 of an inch up and 1 inch into the distance at a 30 degree angle. And then I'll move this so that we have a little bit more space. And then I could go ahead and put in the correct dimension, or if I'm feeling saucy, I can just do this, because I know that this line has to be parallel to this one, and this one has to be parallel to this one, which means that those dimensions are going to transfer because I'm basing them on things that are square to each other in the drawing. So that's a way to kind of get away with some things, I guess. Let's go ahead and draw this face here. So I'm going to use my DI command again. And we have 3/4 and 3/4. So again, I'm going to go 3/4. Like that. And then I can go ahead and make the top of this by just copying those lines over, making them longer than they need to be, and then trimming them. And then I need to put in this one. So let's get how big this thing was. This is 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. So let me put that together. And then this lives here. So basically I just drew this right here. And then I just need this dimension here. So that's 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to draw a line that is 3/8. And I can just copy it. And then get rid of all the things that I wouldn't otherwise see. I missed one. And there you have it. So that's the isometric view of this. And does it look correct? Yeah, it does. Great. The last thing I'll do is scale it. So I'm going to do that by typing scale, hitting enter. I need to specify a base point. It doesn't matter which one. And then I'm going to specify scale factor, which is going to be 50%. And then use my move command to put this in place. And just for funsies, let's put that in place. Oh my gosh, look at how close that was. Eyeballed it. Nice. Get rid of that line. You don't have to be that specific, but I like to be. All right, and then the last thing I want to do is trim away all of these construction lines that go past where I was but moments ago. Yeah, they go outside of the box so that we don't have to keep looking at them. All right, let's do exercise 2 together. This one is actually kind of complicated, so let's take a look and have some fun with it. Okay, so I'm going to put in my X line, horizontal. Everywhere there's a horizontal line, including that hidden line, do that. And then same thing up here on the top view. I'm going to put in a vertical line, and I'm just going to do it like, I don't know, about an inch over. Yeah, that looks about right. Doesn't really matter. Throw in a 45. Oh, because I'm in ISO draft, that 45 is not working, so I can just go over here and click on it to make it go away. 45 right there. And put in my vertical. Well, now there's 2 there, vertical construction lines. I'm going to delete one of them. Okay. Let me go back to my working view. So this edge here, it looks like that's a solid edge. So that's just a rectangle. Great. So then the rest of it is going to be hidden line. So I'm going to come over here, select my hidden line layer. And let's see, this line here is here, and it goes all the way back into the distance. So this is just a polyline from there to there. Perfect. And then this needs a little bit of thought. So when I look at this from the top, I see that these are 2 different heights, and then the question is which one is which? Which one is higher than the other? Is the front higher or is the back higher? And the way that I determine that is based on this hidden line here. So because there's a hidden line here that tells me the height of that second thing here, that means that this is higher, this is lower, which means from the side view, this is higher, this is the lower part. So I'm going to start my polyline, go from here to there to there. Nice. And I think that's it. Okay, so let me go ahead and trim this up. Great. So the ISO. I think I'm going to start again by making this face here. And I think I'll do it by, well, we'll see. So I'm going to start with this edge. So this is 1 1/16 by 3/4. So wrong layer. Oh, I need to turn on my ISO draft again. One 1/16 and 3/4. Move it down a little bit, give myself more space, although I don't know I actually need it. And I can get this dimension, 3/8. Actually, let me just do this. 3/8 by 1/2, and then this one is 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to do there, 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 down, 1/2 in, and then we come up to the same height. And then I'm just using O-snap extensions so that I'm snapping into locations that I've already kind of established. Okay, so this face here is this face here. Okay, let's do this side. So I know that this is just a rectangle. I just need to get a distance for that. That is 3/4 of an inch. Polyline to start, 3/4 of an inch. And you know what, why don't I just copy it? Nice. And I'll do a polyline to close it. And then I can use this line here to finish that. Nice. Okay. Then I need to do this top layer. So let me get this distance here. This is 1/4 of an inch. And then it goes down some distance. Looks like it's probably 1/8. It's 1/8. So I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch down 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to drop that there, but let's just leave it long because I'm not exactly sure where it's going to end up over here, but I'll get to that in a second. I'm going to copy this so that I can figure out where this side of it is, and then just trim away. Okay, so that determines, and I could have done that in other ways, I suppose, but this just seemed like the easiest. And then I just trim away the part that I wouldn't see. And now the last thing I need to do is figure out where this lines up. So this is also going to have something here. And you know what I'll do? I'll just do this. This goes to 3/4 of an inch deep, I think. Let me check this one. Yeah, 3/4, which means this line lines up there. This becomes a vertical, and then that goes there. We trim like that, and that's it. I'm going to scale it. Specify a base point, 0.5 for the scale factor, and then drop that. I don't know why I grabbed it from somewhere that I didn't want to line up to. Right there. Nice. And there you have it. Okay, this is probably going to be pretty challenging. So take your time with it. Really look at those objects. It's useful to try to imagine what the thing looks like in 3 dimensions in your mind before you start trying to draw it. And then from there, work from faces you can see to faces that you can't see, and so on and so forth. As ever, have fun with it. If you have questions, let me know. Good luck.